There are few cities in the world whose history is as long and storied as Istanbul's. For a period it was the most important city in the world, laying at the crossroads between East and West. It sat at the heart of two empires and was coveted by many others. It's a city that has gone by many names: Byzantium, Tsargrad, Miklagard, and perhaps the most famous of all, Constantinople. But when did this change occur? When did Constantinople become Istanbul? To begin, Istanbul is old. Really old. In fact, it was a city founded by Greek settlers in the 7th century BC, and its first name was Byzantion, Byzantium when Latinized. It had numerous names to the Romans, but didn't enter the spotlight until some small-time Roman emperor, Constantine the Great, came along. And the city he chose was Byzantium, although his first choice was Serdica, what's now called Sofia, and he refounded Byzantium as the city of Constantinople. Over the next 1,000 years or so, the city kept its name, but some citizens of the Roman Empire did often refer to the city as Byzantium, or simply as Hi-Polis, which means the city. And those outside of the empire in the Arabic-speaking world knew the city as Constantinia. Now, it shouldn't shock you to know that the next change to the name of Constantinople occurred after the Ottoman conquest of the city in 1453. This was when the city's name became a bit more vague, with official documents often opting for Constantinia, whereas many within the empire gave it the name Istanbul, a contraction of the Greek phrase to the city. This status of a city having both a popular and an official name continued into the 19th century. This was when Istanbul, an evolution of Istanbul, began to see more formal use and was even included in the 1876 Ottoman constitution. It wasn't until the end of World War I and the collapse of the Ottoman Empire that the former name of Constantinople changed. Mustafa Kemal, the first president of the new Republic of Turkey, wanted to draw a line between the old order and the new. And he did this in 1923 by formally changing the name of Constantinople to Istanbul to match what it was already called by the Turkish people. And he asked that all other nations respect this change and start calling the Turkish capital Istanbul from then on. They did not. Most major European nations kept calling it what they had done previously, and of the world's major powers it was only the United States that acknowledged the change. And so the Turkish now had some difficulty since they wanted to be taken seriously. And so to force the issue, in 1930 Turkey passed a new postal law which forbid the postal service from delivering letters addressed to Constantinople. And this worked, which is why most nations officially refer to the city as Istanbul now, except for the Greeks. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and a special thanks to all my Patreon supporters: James Bisonette, Marvin Cassow, A Man of Culture, Kelly Moneymaker, Danny Maloney, John Bizquez, Rob Waterhouse, Mo, Aaron the White, James Castaneda, Gustav Swan, Jordan Longley, Marcus Arsner, Spinning Three Plates, Coolin Castleman, Filda Oink Oink, Rashid Ali, David Silverman, Izzy, Maggie Paxkowski, Spencer Lightfoot, Winston Kaywood, Robert Wetzel, Lexi Schwinn, Anthony Beckett, and Sky Chappelle. Personally, I prefer Miklagard.